So I got this trailer out and I was going to build a pizza oven and put like a 44-gallon drum on there. So I rigged this up and got organised, and then I asked my dad, have you got a bit of old steel around so I can build an A-frame on the front and put a gooseneck on so to make a trailer? And he goes, oh, get this trailer. So I got this one. And I was like, oh, well, this is cool. Look, it's got the old... There's a heap of runs and there's 8 in them. Leaf springs. Pretty solid old stuff. There's some rust through it, but it'll be good enough for what I'm doing. And I'm just going to leave it like that. Rustic wood. Less for me to do. And then even I'll show you this. They build them old to last in the old days, because look, even though it's rusty, it's still there. That's for the rego plate. So I got the 44 and I laid it down here and I started to do the bricks, and that sort of doesn't work. I figured that it kind of goes better if you put it up like this first. So that's going to be my basic layout. It works out best having the bricks up like that. So imagine that's how it'll be when it's flat. Like lay down like that, the whole drum. So I put this wood in here just as a spacer. So what I'll get is the Rehobarb metal and put them across there, 2, 2, 2, 2. So this goes 4 bricks high. I'll let those bricks stand out. And I'm thinking I might even put clay around these spots. Bits of clay. Stick them all in. I reckon they'll stick in better like that. And when this is done, with the rebar going across there, I'll put one rebar along the length like that as a spacer for them bricks, and another one along that way as a spacer, and then just to hold the bricks in place, and possibly a little bit of a weld up here to hold this in place too, because if it's on a trailer, if it's going to move and get towed up the road or something later, well, that's pretty wild, but I might just drag it around the property for now. And it'll hold all the bricks and that together. So that's the plans down. I was just putting together the concept stage where I've just spent the Sunday afternoon for a couple of hours just working out how I'm going to go about it. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Pizza oven trailer in Australia. Okay. So this is the grid pattern I've come up with. Those bricks are just holding this grid. That's so I can weld it. And I've hammered these. I hammered the hell out of these. It was hard as hell. Tough job. They're not sort of perfectly symmetrical and all that sort of thing. But you'll see why I did that later. I just needed them a little bit smaller, because when they went in between the circle, they just needed a little bit flattening so that they'd fit. Right, so now I'm going to weld this. Hopefully I can weld it and see what happens. And I've allowed a little bit extra here. That'll actually be sitting out the drum like that, so a little bench could go on that later or whatever. If they're not needed, they can be cut off, but the bricks will stick out of the drum that far too. But if I end up cutting the bricks off, they'll be level to that. Well, wild show, onwards and upwards. I wasn't sure how this was going to go, whether to lay the drum down and do those bricks and the back wall, or stand it up, or what I meant was lay the drum down and put it upside down so the bricks would be up that way. But then there was the risk that possibly they'll fall away and land on me, because I'd have to go right in there to sort of put them layer of bricks in. So anyhow, I decided to stand it up, and that worked pretty well. This was out, so I could reach in there, and I just put this on here overnight to let it be. I just precautionary, but I think it's going to hold up there pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is take this out, the grid, and lay it flat, put the bricks in how it's going to be, and then I'm going to just weld a little frame around it that holds the bricks. Then take all the bricks and that out, put this back in here like this, and permanently brick it in with, you know, layer there, layer there, layer. Fill all the bricks in so that it goes up neat against this. So that's the job today. This is the third go at bricking. First one was this, then that, and the floor. And now I'll do this. Hopefully get these three done today, and that'll be the finish. That's yeah, just about finished. So that's the frame. I'll weld it up. It holds 15 bricks of the size bricks that I've got. So I've made it to use on my bricks. If you've got different bricks, you know, just adapt and whatever. But how's that for amazing welds? Not rough as hell. I'm not a good welder. Those welds are there just to level the bricks, because I had to crush these down to get enough room inside the thing to put the bricks. One part clay, 2 parts sand, coarse sand, a bit of Portland cement, and I put some wood ash in a little bit. It's not exact mix, just that's how I'm going to do it. I just want it really just to hold the bricks a little bit in place, let it dry, and see how it goes. So this is the mortar I'm going to make, stick the bricks in. Don't actually have to use mortar, but I want to just, it's going to be better to hold them in place, I think, until at least they dry, and then the bricks will hold themselves anyway. So this will just add a little bit more insulation. I'll put one part clay just out of the ground. 2 parts coarse sand, just from a lake, and a bit of Portland cement, and a little bit of wood ash from out of my fireplace. So I stood the barrel up and did that layer of bricks upright, and I put the base in. So the base has gone in there like that. They're not behind all these, they're just those ones. And I wasn't sure how to go because I didn't know if these would fall down or it'd dry away a bit and crack, but it turned out alright. And I'll do the rest of them like this, upright, instead of, I was thinking of turning it upside down, laying the barrel down. You know how they do it half and half and then roll it over so it gives the eggshell effect. That's the bottom of the oven. So now I'll be doing the top. That's the chimney. So yeah, going alright so far. I wasn't sure if this would fall or cave or something, but no, it's holding up there alright. That's the rack. So that's the frame all welded up. It holds 15 bricks of the size bricks that I've got. So I've made it to use on my bricks. If you've got different bricks, you know, just adapt and whatever. But how's that for amazing welds? Not rough as hell, not a good welder. Those welds are there just to level the bricks because I had to crush these down to get enough room inside the thing to put the bricks. So that's the rack done. I did it that way because when I was lining up at the beginning to see how the dimensions and the concept and everything was going to come together, the bricks that I've got are they weren't quite wide enough. Like there's a gap about 1.5 centimetres each side, and I was going to lay them on there flat, and that didn't quite work either. So I decided to end up like building this little rack and frame to put them in. I mean, if you got real creative, if you wanted to, you could actually slide this whole rack out, bricks and all, on some sort of little track, sort of like a C-shaped track or half C-shaped track, but you wouldn't want to use wheels and grease because it'll just burn up in the heat of the oven. But you don't really need to slide it out for any reason. But the way it turned out, I thought perhaps because there'll be about 1 centimetre gap here between the bricks that go up like that, so it might throw flame up like that each side though. I'll see what happens when experimenting when it's cooking, but if that is a problem, I can easily just block it through here with a lump of steel or something, or you can maybe even have flutes and just experiment and see what it's like with them open or closed. Anyhow, that's how it turned out, and I'm done for today. I'm going to knock off. It's a bit warm, and I've had enough of it for now. So it goes in the drum like that. You can see how they're not sitting properly, because when I first put this in and when the clay was wet, it to make a little resting pad for the grill, or the rack, whatever it's called. I put it in back the front, so now it's no drama. I'll chip that away and sit it level, and it'll get backfilled with a stronger mortar anyway. And I'll put in the next layer of bricks down here with this in place, and it'll be sealed in there forever. That's where the fire will go, down there. And there's enough room up the back. You don't need them poles there, but those poles are just holding it up, so they're going to stay there once it's built. And these will be on the front. I just did them extra because I just figure out something to use it for later on. It was actually handy to lift it up too, like a wheelbarrow, and can slide. I could sit like a bench on there, or slide a cover on to help shut the front door later on. Okay, so I've chiseled that out a bit. That's sitting in place better. It still needs mortar around it again. Mistakes are costly. It takes a lot more time. But these bits of steel are all rough as guts. Like, I hammered these, and they're just dented here, there, and everywhere. So I'm basically just gonna mortar it in place there like that again. I could lay it down and then mortar each side first, so it's got a layer here, and then start bricking, which wouldn't be a bad idea, but it's going to be slower. I might just do it as I go, putting the bricks, one row of bricks at a time, and just mortar in around it and carefully. I don't know if there's going to be a gap left. There is a gap there, but after the mortar and everything goes in, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to actually make a gap properly. But onwards and upwards, we'll see how we go. And you can see how, like, they don't quite go flush, because when it got welded, it bent sort of a bit, curved. Plus they're all dinted in all sorts of weird ways. So yeah, it's level enough, it's good enough. That's how it's going to be. That's the rack. So when I just rough in the bricks for the next layer, they don't quite fit in, and I'm using these smallest bricks. And see where the other bricks were a little bit thicker, and the reason for that must be because this mortar just pushed them out that little bit more from when I first tried it, roughing them in, until it was actually, they were mortared in properly. So it's a real problem. What a prick of a thing. I don't think I can get. Might have to just cut a bit off of one brick at the end, but it's only about a centimetre. Not sure what else to do. I'll have a think about it. Maybe chip off some of the edges, or just chip off one brick sort of through here or something. Yeah, that's unexpected problem. That's sort of stopped everything for now. So that chiseled out quite well, and the clay held together pretty good too, considering it's not really the proper mix that you're supposed to use. Yeah, that worked out pretty well, just chiseling it out. Well, I managed to get one row in, and how I did it was, because of this banana bend there, I released the jack off and pushed. There was about 1/2 centimetre gap each side there, so that pushed in a bit, and that was just enough. But I've got that row of bricks in there that tight that there's just not a millimetre of space, and there's no mortar in there, so I've just dry filled them, but at least it solved the problem. But once I get up here, that's actually banana bowing out more now, so it'll be tighter again up here. But anyway, I'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. One good thing is those bricks are nice and tight, and they are not going to fall down. That one's not going back properly for some reason. Oh, actually, it's not too tight. I didn't think I'd be able to get them out. I'll try a different brick in there. And then just got more of them in there. Let that row dry. That's all I'll do today. Yeah, they're holding in real nice. Really nice. Perfect. Well, for every problem there's a solution. I'm just glad I didn't have to cut bricks, because for one, I can't cut them very good, and I haven't got the equipment to do it. And these are really old bricks, so they've been in a chimney for like 60 years, a fire chimney. Might even be longer than that. And they're sort of brittle and just crack. I don't know how to crack them properly. I'd probably try and buy a grinder blade if I did have to cut them. But that chimney's not quite lining up. I wanted that chimney just to go between bricks. See how we go. So I figured out a way to get these thicker bricks in. You probably can't see it with the video, but those bricks are slightly thinner. They don't quite line up and right that way. And that made the width not reach around the semicircle. So I had to get a blade and just grind a bit away, so it just gives it a little bit more room when that goes there. Then this brick will fit in there. So that'll turn out alright that way. And same for that one, got cut in a bit, so there was a centimetre, and I smashed that pipe back a bit where they were sticking out like that. So I smashed them back like that. So now I'll just try and mortar these in so that I don't put too much mortar behind, because there's not much wriggle room there. Once the mortar goes in, they'll all be tight and good. Right, next round of mortar. This is round 3. Just a little tip, if you put the water, a bit of water on the top of your leftover mortar, water on the mortar, you can use that next day. Oh, it's gotten a little bit harder on that lot compared to the first lot because I put real better cement in this. Might not work as good for this lot. See what happens. Not great. It's sort of set. I'll put some water in there. It might be alright again. A bit more cement. If it's clay and sand and not so much cement, yeah, it'll store with that water on it overnight or so until you do it. I hadn't left it a few days. That first lot, this had more cement in it, more proper cement mix and lime, but I think that'll soggy up with a bit of water and get going again. No problem. So that mortar turned out alright. That's freshly mixed. I'll just let that sit for a little bit and it'll be just nice consistency to use. Stage 3, layer, actually stage 4, layer 3. They've all roughed in, they're ready to put mortar around them. They're fairly straightforward, only just cut a couple of grooves just down there for those pipes, and that was enough to fit that little brick in, and it fitted pretty nicely. So that water and mortar kept overnight, and I used this brick to flatten out the lumps and make it a dust again. Added some more cement and water and rough coarse sand, and yeah, that'll turned out all right. So I decided that I'm just going to put 3 bricks flat like that and put that plate on the bricks, so that that's the finish. And that's going to give enough, well, not really give enough, but I mean it's going to be enough room for the pizzas to go in there and other food, and yeah, I just think it'll sit all right like that. So today I'm going to cut a little bit off that brick, enough to go in there, but I'll end up putting that in the middle there between that brick, and I've got to do 3 of them because they're 3 deep, way back there. So, and then it'll be finished. I'm going to cut the lid. I'm going to cut that off down here and put that over the front here. Now to make a little lid, I'll zoom out. I just cut that with an angle grinder. There's the thing, and sits on like that. Easily take it off. Sit it there. I'll put a handle on it. I'll try and find one of those old gas barbecues that they throw out, you know, with the lift up lids. have them here in Australia. They put them on the side of the street and throw them out all the time. And they'll have one of those handles, and just handle like that. Or if I find a bit of metal, I'll just weld something on there. But it might get hot, so it'll need one of those, I don't know, a bit of wood on some steel or something. And I wondered, should it be covered up? A little one to go on here too. This is the other bit. Maybe I can cut that off so that that fits up there too. As a little. Because when that's on there, the fire might roar up too much, because it'll be drawing air through that way and up and around and through the chimney. So, and then once that one's on there, it might need a little flute, like some holes here with a little slide thing, so that you can adjust it. But I'm not sure if it actually needs that or not. Most fires do. So, yeah, but I'm only really using this thin old drum because I haven't got a good one yet. I want to get one of the nice big old, because these are real hard steel. They're solid as shit and they're just really good. So this is only just a temporary thing until I find an old drum somewhere, one that's dented and buggered, and so I can just cut it and get the end, get one of these ends off, and it'll look a lot more better, because these modern ones are shit. They're just flimsy little fucking hopeless, rusty shit fucking things. Right, okay, so that's it. That's how it's going to sit. I decided not to cut the little bricks because it's just the stuff around. I don't think it's going to work good. It might work, but I don't think I'm going to gain much by doing it. And the mucking around, and to have those little bits, see there where the flames can go up. I'll just see if this gets too hot, because the flames maybe go up there. I'll put the bricks in there later, but for now I'll give it a go just like that. So I just roughly angle grinded that out a bit. It's not great, but it is a lid. If I was doing it properly with a better one, I think I'd well, hopefully you had two of them and it'd overlap sort of when it went on. That might work though. That'll be alright for the first burn, for a while anyway. Just gotta figure out a handle. Figure out a handle and we're done. So I'm going to call this pizza oven done now. I've just got a temporary little hook here using an old railway line peg or whatever it's called. And all that's left to do is to cook pizza. So I'm not quite finished yet because I need something to put the pizzas in the oven with and to take them out of the oven. So I'm going to try and cut this and bolt that on there somehow and just see if that works as, like, you know, a slide going out there like that. So I got that cut out. No idea if it's going to be work or not, but might be a bit big. Feels like there's enough strength. See how it goes. So now I'm just going to cut this out as the peel. Is it called a peeler or whatever? This thing that round and it twists the pizza sort of around. And then I'm going to attach it to that. So this is stainless steel. And I'm just cutting it with a little angle grinder. Normal, just angle grinder. Nice and slow, don't let it get too hot. But yeah, it seems to do the job. Ow, it's hot. I'll do it. And there's one peeler. All made with second-hand material for free. Cool. Now it's finished. Pizza oven is done. Just got to break it in with a little bit of fire first, and then ready to cook. This little one is for stoking the fire, or just dragging coals out, or stoking the fire, whatever. So yeah, that should be all I need. I think I'll bolt this on here and give it a scrub because it's stainless steel and that'll be a good workbench, and it'll also get warm there for proving dough and stuff like that when you're making the pizza bases. Okay. Well, considering this was just an old piece of I don't know what it is, off something that I just collected and left in the yard and didn't have any idea what I'd ever use it for. But it's turned out really good. Pizza slide. That plastic will come off eventually. It's stuck on there pretty good, but it'll melt off. And it was cheap, and it's rigid and aluminium. I mean stainless steel. So yeah, it's cool. Considering these things are, like, I looked at some prices, pretty pricey for some of them. I might even cut it a bit smaller, but I thought, like, it's better to be too big than too small. Yeah, that'll hold a pizza, no problem. Alright. So I've got a little problem to fix today. And this is how I'm going to solve the problem. Now, there's every chance that this could go wrong. And we're going to see it go wrong live if it does. Look out, Chucky. And it did go wrong. I'm going to keep that straight. Oh, so it is heavy, man. Real heavy. If I get over that side of the trailer. Can't video this, so I've got to turn it off. First thing I want to do is stop it from going any further. So I've got to put that rope on there. And now it's raining, so I'm going to wait a minute until the rain stops. This is a real problem. Not good, look at that. Here we go again. This is a major problem. Shit. Oh no, now I've got more problems. This is a major fuck up. No. This is going very wrong. Okay, so I got it slidden up that far. Now I'm going to tighten this up. Tie it solid on that bar. And take the trailer forward. And that's on the centre of balance. And it's going to come down again. I've got to drag it through that bit first. Hopefully it goes alright. Not a good situation. Bloody raining and don't want this to happen twice. So I got it out. Look how Tuppy moved from under there. And it's still sitting in the trailer there. That rope's holding it. Now the point of balance should be pretty light. And that's down. Stay there. It's actually not gonna, I've got to move it back a little bit. Balance now. Yep. So, not a great exercise to have to do, and a dangerous one. especially if someone wants to borrow this thing one day. I'll have to get all the weight so it's more up there, and I've got to get a jockey wheel. You don't want it too heavy up the front, but you want to be able to lift it off the trailer as well. You could leave it on the vehicle. It's probably a better idea if it goes anywhere. I'll put something on here so it can't slide back again. A bit of steel. I want to put a couple across that way, but I've got to put this wood on here too, so just got to figure out how I could both get that wood on and that steel strap bar around it. You know, that's good. It's at least got it. I've got it up again. I'm just going to twist it around and get a level. Okay, so we've got a little bit more secure now. I welded that thing onto there. Stop it from sliding back. And today's the day that I'm going to fire it for the first time. It's been drying for a week and a half. The bottom lot about 2 weeks. It's got more clay in the mixture in the bottom lot. Because I ran out of cement, I bought a bag of cement for $10 and I put more cement in this top lot, which has lime as well. It's been about a week drying, but I just got this bit of tin and I'm going to just push that in there. To put the first fire on, just so that it doesn't dry out those bricks too quick or too hot for the first burn or the first couple of burns. And when the lid and all that gets closed up, and it all should warm up in there and sort of just dry it out a bit. I think it's probably pretty dry anyway, but I'll do a couple of dry burns, some good slow burns, and just see how it works, whether it sort of how it draws and where the smoke goes, whether the flames go up sort of along the side and curl over or not. Anyway, we'll see in a minute. I'm just going to fire it up, get some wood ready and some paper and light a match. Just when I start to get organised to light a fire, it starts to rain. That'll be right. Just slide that in there, keep it dry and wait for the rain to stop. So this is the first fire up. It's burning along nicely. Those bricks are warm. Warming up, they're cold still. So we're getting the fire effect. Going around, curling around the side. Could even cut that steel in so it's a little bit thinner. when the real fire is actually in there and they're doing a pizza, the fire will be down the back. I think mostly, and you just drag some coals up to the centre bit if the plate gets too hot. There's a little ant in there, you better run out, little ant, or you'll get zapped. I haven't got a temperature probe or any kind of thing to know what the temperature is, so I just have to gauge it by feel. So this is the third time I've had a fire going, and this is really going. And it's time to cook the pizza. So I'm making the pizza here. It's time to be putting the pizza in the oven. Got everything here. And I'm ready to try. Anything could go wrong here. Well, it's in there. And that's, wow, real hot. So it's cooked. That's the first time I've ever done a pizza in an oven like that. And we'll have a look under. I think it's a little bit too hot. But, well, it's a pizza. Cut it up and give it a try. This peel worked pretty good. I wonder if I could just give it a little bit more with it actually on the peel, so it doesn't get too hot, so it just cooks the top bit, if you know what I mean. That's enough, I think. Yippee! Pizza! Get it in, everybody! It's time for the pizza! We're making a pizza tonight. Get a cutter. It's like hot, eh? It's such a simple thing, really. Just a bit of dough, some basic toppings, and into a hot oven. I guess it's pretty cheap material. Worldwide, there's flour everywhere, dating way back to the Roman days and earlier. All right. I'm going to try my pizza. Yum, yum, yum. It's got that smoky, little bit of a burny taste to it. Whoa. I didn't quite go on the peel properly when I first put it on. I spilled a bit. Hey, that's not bad. That's the first one. It's going to get better. A couple of air holes in there. I didn't let the dough sit long enough. It's supposed to sit for 4 hours. It hasn't even been an hour. So I can definitely improve a lot. But yeah, it's puffed up around the sides and that. Awesome. Look, it's only like about a minute and it's already like that. It's wow, that's hot. You want to try pizza tuppy? Is that good? Oh, yummy pizza. Would you like the pizza? Mmm. Is that good? It's the first of many to come. There we are. Pizza number 2. Nice. That's nice. Nicely done. Maybe a little bit too much on the side, but that's okay. There's a bit of an art to cooking them. Definitely a lot to learn yet. But anyway, that's a good start. I'm getting feed anyway. I got my dinner for tonight. The dogs are having some. They liked it. No, that's not too bad. That's pretty good, I reckon. They cook so quick. They're like, you know, instant. They're so quick. Could time them out so they're a little bit slower, I reckon, so they kind of bake a bit more. But I think that's the general idea. Throw them in, really hot. Yeah. That's good. Got that burnt smoky flavour to it. Not burnt, but sort of smoky. Not bad.